First question is, how did you become a musician, and what's your story as a performer and musician and bassoonist?
Well, I started playing clarinet in my middle school band in 6th grade, and then I realized I could go faster than the rest of the other people and teach myself more fingerings and switched to different instruments. So after 1 year of clarinet, I switched to saxophone.
Was clarinet your choice?
I mean, we had only, clarinet, flute, trumpet, trombone, and my aunt had a clarinet, and I couldn't make a sound on the flute, and it seemed like the most interesting. So yes. And then I switched to saxophone because I needed to be different, and then I needed to be even more different and switched to bassoon. But I kept playing all of them, and I'm still playing them, or mostly bassoon.
Do you like to play in any other formation other than a symphony orchestra?
I mean, orchestra is definitely my favorite, but I consider myself versatile. I like playing chamber music.
Mixed or like wind quintet is one thing that comes to mind.
It does, definitely. There's a lot of bassoon parts there. Whatever, like it's sometimes fun to venture out of wind quintet, like a reed trio or, any other combination with harp or something like that,
And what about Baroque music, playing basso continuo?
It's so wonderful. I love it.
Cool.
It's very rewarding.
So what's your age or so history? That would be the next question. When did you join the orchestra, and if you remember, what was your first concert here?
I was subbing the year before I joined the orchestra, and I remember my first concert was the Stravinsky Octet, and that was really fun because I'd played in the Missouri Symphony with Maya Stone, and she had asked me to come play, so I did, and then I kept coming to play, and that season was really fun. I got to play 4 last songs, and then the audition was the next day, and then the first season was sort of interrupted by COVID, but here we are, making it work.
Cool. What are you doing when you're not playing music? I assume you do other works outside of the Huntsville Symphony?
Yes.
Playing with other orchestras, formations?
I live in New York City, and there's a lot of freelance opportunities there, so I do that, whatever comes my way. I like to run a lot, and I have a dog, so those things.
So you are a dog parent
I am.
And a runner.
Yes.
And what about when you get to play with other groups? I mean, it's okay if you're freelancing in New York, you take what you're offered, I guess. But what's your favorite? Like, if you can play in a Baroque group or contemporary music or maybe local orchestras?
Well, as I said, I like to play whatever, but it is the most fun to get to come and play big pieces of the repertoire, like what are we playing? Let's see. Mahler, yes, like Mahler. That's one of the best things because that's a big, huge piece, and sometimes the freelance groups are smaller, so it's like Mozart and Beethoven, which is wonderful, but a big group gets to play the big pieces, and that's really fun.
So having an orchestra job here in Huntsville, Alabama, and freelancing in New York City, and being a young musician yourself, and maybe you can talk about your reasons going into music. I don't know if your parents were musically inclined or they are musically inclined, or you've seen somebody in your family who was. But anyway, why did you go into music? If there's anything to add to that, and how do you see this whole music business thing? Like, how did you see it 10 years ago, and how do you see it now? Do you see any changes that are troubling you, or maybe changes that give us some hope for the future?
Well, my dad played guitar, but it was like pop music, and that's where I definitely heard the word gig and thought it was a weird word, but now I'm used to it, and it's a word. But I wouldn't say that necessarily steered me in this direction. I just really, really loved it, and I don't even remember making a choice that I needed to play classical music. It's just sort of something I couldn't let go of, or it couldn't let go of me or something.
And your parents were supportive?
Extremely,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. My mom's coming to the concert tonight.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm. So 10 years ago and now, I think people will continue and have always loved classical music. Maybe it's not like a sellout always, but I have faith that people will keep loving it, and we'll hear Mahler 1 in 100 years from now.
So in your experience, people are going to concerts, right?
I think
just
so.
Judging by your own practice with different groups, different places in this nation,
I go to concerts, and
Oh,
I
there you
see
go.
other people in the audience, and I always am looking around to see who's there, and there are people of all ages, and it's always a mixed crowd, and that gives me hope, and feels good to keep coming and playing concerts. It's not just for me, it's for everybody.
So we learned that you like to run, you have
Yeah.
a dog,
Yeah.
but what do you do for fun outside all of this? Like, do you read, do you like movies, you like going out with friends?
Yeah.
Or any hobby, maybe you collect stamps, I don't know.
No stamps. I do actually love reading a lot. Let's see. There's whenever
Tablet or real books?
either. If I'm getting it from the library, tablet. If I need the book right away and I have to buy it, real book or whatever. If people always ask me what's new in my life, I generally say the same things. It's always reading, whether it's bassoon reads or reading a book, practicing, playing bassoon, and running. Those three things take up a lot of time, but they're all very fun to me.
So you read fiction or non-fiction or both?
Mostly fiction.
Mostly fiction?
But
So what was your last great read?
Well, I'm in a book club with two friends, and currently reading The Road by Cormac McCarthy, and it's very intense.
Now that he died.
Yes, exactly. We had to get on there.
Well, you have to discover the big classics
Mhm.
when they get a chance.
It's very intense.
So you have a book club conversation about the books that you read, and do you find that adds to the experience? Do you feel good about discussing these books with others that read it?
Well, we typically read difficult books, so we work through them in sections, and we've read a lot of Faulkner, and we do it like in little sections so we can really get to the bottom of things and help each other understand what's happening.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.